trackers and stuff like that. But the guys are doing really, really cool stuff. They're building on Node. They're building their own data centers. They're well stuck into this space, and they're becoming really, really successful. So yeah.
So what I thought I'd do is I'd kind of go back a little bit from what Richard and Charlie, they've been going into specific things about what they've been doing with Node. And I thought I'd talk a little bit more about the kind of ecosystem around Node in terms of what's out there in terms of documentation, community, and how to get into the package manager and things like that. Yeah, we're airplane this, so it's a bit slower. So, as I say, front-end developer free agent. By the way, there's a 3-month free trial things dotted around, so happy with that. Veteran of failed startup, Node.js Dublin, and a bunch of abandoned open source libraries. If you go to my GitHub, it's the same as piper.tane, you'll find some code source there that I've been working with. I've been developing for, well, over 10 years professionally, but I've been around, since very expecting days, basic. And kind of August, September, we started getting into Node.js. How that came about is 2 non-technical guys came to me looking for a technical startup founder. Started looking at building the app in Django, and that completely failed. And started playing around with Node.js, CouchDB, and it really started to kind of fit together. Did hit some problems later on. That turned out to be with XJS, migration from 3 to 4, and running out of money as these things happen in startup land. So, but the really impressive part of it was what we could do with Node.js. That was so I'm going to cover some stuff, just kind of talk about some of the documentation that's out there, and give you the mailing list details. If you're new to Node, I'd recommend getting into this stuff. Looking at some core Node.js features. Look at some core Node features that are available to you. A little bit of NPM, and then we'll look at some code. I've written a little bit of code for Express, request, and underscore, and these are kind of what I would say my go-to modules when I'm writing any sort of project. And we'll have some questions at the end if you want to find out any other stuff about the resources that are available. So this is kind of an important part, and I think this has been touched on already. Node.js is not magic bullet. It's not going to instantly solve all your problems. If you've got problems that are I/O bound or network bound, that's where it really needs the power. If you're going to be doing hard computational problems, look elsewhere. Node's not really going to solve that problem for you. So, of course, you've got the official documentation, which is Node.js.org. There's also some good unofficial documentation. The 2 that I would recommend are Node Manual and docs.nodejitsu. Incidentally, these Nodejitsu guys, these are kind of, they're doing the platform as a service for Node, and there's some really interesting open source stuff that they've got out there. So this is what the Node Manual looks like. It's pretty basic in terms of layout, but there's a lot of information in there. And as you can see, you've got other stuff like globals, timers, OS level stuff, all the stuff about HTTP and file systems, all the buffers and everything in there as well. Let's say there's Node Manual as well. Some interesting tutorials on here, and if you're really starting out with Node, then there's some stuff to look on here, stuff like buffers and streams, and your HTTP servers and clients that are available to you. And the Node.js one. There's some basic stuff on here, but there's some advanced stuff on here as well. And the good one about this one is it's a wiki, so if you actually want to write an article yourself, you just need to go in and edit the wiki and submit that. And there's some really great documents on there. The mailing lists, as I say, there's two mailing lists. There's the Node.js one, the from Google Groups. The general mailing list is the high volume one. That's the one that, you know, anyone's got a question, anyone's got a complaint. You know, every once in a while you'll have conversations coming up about, oh no, how do you write asynchronous code? You know, how do you do flow control? And somebody goes out and writes a fibers library, and there's about 15 of them out there at the moment. It's pretty ridiculous. The second one is the code list, which is the /dev. And this is the one you find the Joyent guys and a lot of code committers on. They talk about, you know, people can do bug reports there, you can submit patches. Incidentally, if you do want to commit to nodes, either through a patch or through a git pull request, you have to sign a contributor's license just to say that, you know, you give rights and you're not going to sue them in, you know, 5 years down the line because you've written a bit of code in there. And quite a lot of design talk as well. A lot of stuff that's come up in nodes 0.8, which is in the 0.7 kind of beta branch at the moment. There was two things that were going to be in 0.8. One of them has been dropped, which is the isolates, which was going to be a feature about isolating the code. There is going to be domains. Domains are essentially really intelligent try-catches, which allow you to write code within it. You can start a domain, write some code, end the domain, and any code that's in there will be caught, essentially, will not crash your main event with it. It's kind of outside the scope of this talk, but I do recommend you go have a look and read about that. And it's really going to help. It kind of covers some of the stuff that Charlie was talking about, where error handling is going to improve in Node, and this is one of the things that's there. So some of the core concepts in nodes, as already been mentioned, it's really a binding on top of V8, and you really use the power of the JavaScript VM that's there. And it allows developers to script asynchronous and I/O, whether it be on file system or network. It's focused on some performance and memory usage through the event loop and not threads, which means that you're not going to have, you know, lots of threads on your system blowing up your memory usage. It keeps quite low. Where it's going to peg it, it's going to peg on your CPU. So if you're writing code, you need to kind of keep it CPU efficient. Because they don't do big mathematical problems in Node. And if you come from a Ruby or Python background, you may have already, you know, used Event Machine Ruby or Twisted in Python, and that gives you a kind of flavour of what Node is. There's two real kind of powerhouse features in Node. Everything apart from kind of utility libraries like query strings or URL parsing use these two. They basically inherit from this, and that's the event emitter and the streams. So you've probably seen that code before, you know, and that is essentially an event emitter on the client side. But Node allows you to do the same, and allows you to inherit. As you can see here, there's an inherit line there, where basically you can write a prototype class, you know, for want of a better word, and you can tell it to inherit from the event emitter, and then that allows you to listen and emit events in there. You can see the emit event from Node.js Dublin, and that's going to call back this view, which is then just going to output that. It's not a very good example, but you know, it's quite a difficult thing to get over in 5 minutes. Streams, again, these are quite an important concept in Node. And I know Michael might just come on the screen and go to streams. He loves these things. As you can see, you basically say, I want to read a file, and I want to write a file. And then basically you can pipe the data between the two. Just using the right there. I think actually that's JPEG. It should be piped there actually. So what's NPM? Well, NPM is package management node, but it doesn't actually stand for the package manager. You can go and read the history of it. But what it is, it's a general purpose tool for Node, for you to get other libraries that are available. It's similar to pip or gem if you come again Python Ruby background. So this is what an NPM package looks like. Apart from your code, every NPM package must include a package.json file. This is a bit of a library that I wrote. There's some basic stuff there around name, description, tags. That's all the kind of metadata that goes around there. But there's some important stuff like main file. That's how NPM knows how to get in, knows how to get into your package. You call your package main file index.js, and you don't actually have to do that. Node actually recognizes that index.js is the way into your package. But if you don't call it that, then you have to explicitly set the name there. But you don't have to add the JS on at the end because you're dealing with JavaScript. You've got some repository stuff, some engine stuff, so you're actually saying there as a semi-ver, you must be using Node 4.4 or greater. If somebody still is running on Node 4.2, this library is not going to work for them. But rather than letting them install that library and have it crash their system, NPM will just actually say you need to upgrade your Node. There's some scripts here. There's actually a test script. If you use travis.ci, you can actually tell travis.ci to pull your repository into Git, and it'll actually run that bit of script there, which calls Node unit, which sits in the Node modules folder, and it calls your tests, and it'll actually run that on travis.ci. Finally, there's the dependency. I don't actually have any dependencies in this, but there is a dev dependency of Node unit, which allows you to run the tests. Essentially, if you want to write a library and you want to have a dependency of something like request, which I'll show you an example shortly, that will actually pull that in. The way Node modules works is, unless you specifically say that you want to install the package globally, it will install it in a Node_modules folder in the current directory you're in. That means you can have multiple versions of different libraries, because one version might have a certain API that isn't in another version because it's been deprecated, but you want that deprecated one. You can actually have two different versions of that package in your project, and they won't conflict with each other. This is the main NPM registry site. It's at search.docs. Search.npm.js.org. As you can see, all the latest packages show up, and literally there's hundreds of updates a day these days. There's new packages, there's updated packages, they're all showing up. You can also see the most depended on, and you can actually see that things like CoffeeScript are quite high up. Quite a lot of people know they're actually using CoffeeScript. Underscore, which is underscore.js library in the server side. Request, async request. These are the top 5 libraries that a lot of people are using. And 3 of the ones I'm going to show you today are in the top 5. So these are quite well tested, well written libraries that a lot of people are using. This one's actually quite a good site as well. This one is toolbox.no.de. It's exactly the same as the Node search, but it's done by a third party, and you can actually see it's actually organised a hell of a lot better. You've got Ajax libraries, backbone libraries, building deployment libraries, things for doing things in the command line. So if you want to find modules, I would really recommend using this one if you're a beginner, because this will actually help you locate ones that you're looking for in terms of metadata. So I can show you some live examples now. I'm just going to quickly show you very simple examples. These don't go into any depth. There's no testing around them. But they kind of give you a flavour of what you can do with some of the stuff that's in there. So we've got express, request, and underscore. underscore example. Who here has actually used underscore JS, either on the client or the server side? Not many of you. Basically, underscore JS is a really useful library. There's about 60 functions in there now. And what it does is it gives you a lot of functionality that is really kind of missing in JavaScript. Things like MapReduce functions there are native MapReduce functions now, and what underscore will do is if it finds the native function in the browser, it will use it. If it doesn't, it'll polyfill. There's lots of stuff around filtering and zipping and doing lots of things with lists and arrays. So just a quick example, in option 1, I'll run that. All that's going to do is going to take an array of numbers and it's going to return the number times 50. And it just returns an array like that. The next one is filter. All we're going to do is we're going to find anything in this array that has a D in the name. We get double in editor. And the third one, we're actually going to reject anything that has a D in the name. So these are really, really powerful functions that you can use within your application. One of the ones that I use quite a lot is actually the defaults one, which allows you to pass an object, but also separate ones to defaults. If you use jQuery, you've probably used something like jQuery extend. It's very, very similar, and it's quite a nice powerful thing to do in your project. This is the request one. Michael, who will be talking shortly, he wrote this, and this is an insanely powerful library. Where you do stuff with the HTTP library in Node.js, it maybe takes about 5 or 6 lines to do something. 1 line in this for most things. Obviously, I've split it out so it's easier for me. So there's a function. We're just going to pass a UI to the jQuery search. Change that to the hashtag. What was it? Node.js Dublin, wasn't it? We're going to get JSON back because we want to be able to read it rather than just a big body or a string. Don't specify that, it's just going to come back as a string. And there we go. So we've got a search result, and that is essentially 1 line of code to do that. Here we're going to get we're going to grab the engineer logo, and this is the other stream. Basically, we've created a write stream to an output, and we're just going to request this file, and we're going to pipe it out to that file stream. So that's done. So that was super quick, and again, really 2 lines of code. I mean, I've put some error, checking when they close or if there's to see if that comes out. But essentially, that's 2 lines of code to grab an image. In option number 3 there, just a really simple example, just showing you that you can do a post request. There's not really anything much to see there, but it's showing you that all you need to do. The default is a get request. If you want to do a post request, it's just .post, and it's really the same options that you're passing in. There's not really any difference to that. The final one I'm going to show you is Express. This is what we like writing Express servers, basically. Just create an instance, and I like to attach it. Now this is how you do an Express server. Basically, we'll create a server, configure it, and all I'm doing is passing a static directory, and I'm telling it to list them on a board there. So if I go and do There was an example on Richard's slide, which was an HTTP server, and that was about 3 or 4 lines. Express really provides a lot more power than just that. You know, if I wanted to do server get Sinatra before, it's actually based quite a lot on Sinatra. So you can find some similar stuff in there. So that's me. And any questions?
We have about 3 points. Come on.
Yeah, on the 26th of June, I'm speaking at Node.js and I'm going to talk on Node. We get Node up. Substack is also an awesome artist and just draws all these mad things with these libraries. Basically, if you've done anything remote procedure calls, you know, absolute pain in the ass. I mean, who here has had to work so? Yeah, exactly. Basically, Dnode is JavaScript magic. This is a bit of a magical limit in some sense. It allows you to write some code where you use Express. You say this Dnode has got this function zing, and this is on the server side. So on the server side, it takes the number and times it by 100 and returns it in a callback. And then on your client side, all you actually have to do is connect to Dnode. You don't even have to teleport or anything because on the client you're connected through Express, through the HTTP request, and you pass in a value 66. And all you do is you pass a callback function and it gives you the number back. You don't have to think about AJAX, you don't have to think about how you're going to transport your data. All you need to do is say, I want to pass this number and I want the result, and it goes away to the server and returns it. It does it all over socket.io. It has this completely insane little protocol that it's written, which basically takes what you've got on the client and server and turns it into strings, and then tells the client tells the server and the server tells the client what is available. So you can actually write functions on the client side and have the server call it, and you can actually have it call all of them. So it's a little chat server. You know, if you have a chat server, somebody types something in, it sends that to the server side, and then the server side goes to all the callback functions on everyone's client and sends in messages. It really is quite a nice little library, and I used quite a bit of this in the startup stuff that I was doing. So I would really check that one out as well if you're interested in some of the really powerful stuff. It takes a little bit of time to get your head around it first, but once you do, it's brilliant.
Okay, any questions? Yes? No? Yes?
Not anyway.